We're going to learn about the western pond turtle. It's a great turtle. It's the kind that you always think about when you're thinking of a turtle. This is what they are. And look here, I have a picture, a video of them here, and I think this is probably in someone's aquarium, but it does give you an idea of how they swim and what they do. And let's see, let's have them come on out. Where are you, little thing? There. And they live in the water, but they really like to do a lot of basking in the sun. And they will sometimes, you'll see them on logs with other turtles just lying around. But for the most part, they're pretty solitary. That means they just do things alone. And but they like to spend time in the water. They swim. They feel really good. Their babies are born near the water and then grow up in the water. But you will find them at other times on a log somewhere, which is just what we're doing right now. Is we're going to show our awesome western pond turtle on a log. Here we go. Now, what I'd like you to do is we're going to come over here and take a look at some other pictures here. Now, this is an artist rendition, and what it means is that an artist took many points of view and it's better than a picture, a photograph, because it's only one-sided, but an artist can see many different ways something is and put it all together. So you can see the texture of the face and the legs and the little claws and the shapes in here, like the lip over here, and so it has a very specific look to it. So we're just going to leap right over here. Look at this. Isn't this great? So you can really clearly see the design in here. The texture of it is very rough, and there it is poking inside in there. So we have quite a few of these here. Let's take a look. These are all western pond turtles, and this one will look kind of happy. Oh yeah, hi, look at you, look at you. And you can still see the texture of the legs and the neck. This one here shows the design of the shell when you're looking down. So it's got this lip going around and then these inner designs on the inside, which we're going to be doing. And they really like to bask with their heads up. Now, frequently I've seen a bunch of them on a log. Sometimes they're even on top of each other. And they like to put their heads up. I'm not sure why, but it's a pretty typical look for them. And again, here it is, heads up, on a log, in the middle of the river or the edge of the river. And back in here is cattails. We're also going to be using that just as a texture, as a look. And look, see, heads up. And this looks kind of relaxed. Look, it's got his leg dangling and his tail dangling. And it looks like it's a very happy turtle. Look at that. Okay, and again, heads up. But look, this one here I'm going to use partially for our reference because of the reflection. Learning how to do a reflection is really fun. It's opposite. And then, there's a happy head. Hello. So basically what we're doing is we're doing a basic turtle, nothing too fancy, in its habitat, which would be a wetland, in a wetland. Now, I want you to be able to get your materials together. So you'll need a pencil, you'll need an eraser, and a Sharpie to start with, right? This is just to start with. You will also need, hopefully you have some watercolors. If not, you use crayons, use colored pencils. It's all good. It all works. Now, here's my pet here. It's hello you there. And this one here kind of shows us clearly how the legs go and the little very sharp claws in here. Its tail, its design here. It's kind of almost like got a squared off face here. There. So anyway, this will have our pet turtle be right over here while we're working. And you're going to use your pencil. I'm going to be using a charcoal so that you can see it. And our background sound effect is pond. The sounds of a pond with some of the little creatures around there. So let's first do our log. So a log, all we're doing is helping lines in here so you can just see how the log goes like that, okay? And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our circle, our oval in for our turtle. Here we are, turtle oval, right here, right? Good. And then I just kind of put like a piece of a box here, sort of like that, or a rectangle. There's a, just like sticking out here, looks like a rectangle attached to it. And we'll round it off as we get going on this, right? And now, the shell itself has the lip, but you're not going to see the other side of the lip because literally it is on the other side. So here is that shell, the outer lip. And then we can just right now, for now, we can place our legs in here. So our legs it's kind of grasping, going over, grasping the log here, and it's got a fairly good size. And look, I'm just roughing out the shapes for us here, and then this one would kind of go back over here, roughing out our shapes, and they're pretty big, and then a little tail, okay? But now, after we've done that part, now we can start to get some detailing and just our creature here. So here's our face here, and let's give it, remain boxy, but it's still got a little oval to the edge and a big fat eyeball, a little nice mouth, hello mouth. And then let's come on over here and create this leg a little bit better. And the leg comes, and it has those claws. So let's include those claws, right? And over here, same thing. Okay, it's claws. Actually, it's 5. That doesn't have to be exact because you might not see everything. And then here's our shell. And here comes the design. I'm just going to put like little squares or rectangles in here. They're not quite that. They're pretty arbitrary here. Let's take a look here. Here, just so you see. You see, here's the lip. And they're right next to each other here. I'm doing my best to do that. But they're, not exact sizes. Here we go, like that. There we go. There. And it's just part of the design. It definitely has a design. And then over here you can see how it has much larger pieces of it here. And it has more or less 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. Although you can see it's a little bumpy here. And they all kind of try to fit into each other. So we're going to try that. So I'm actually building sort of a house here with a little roof, and another one over here with a little roof, little house with a little roof. Oh, and also the bottom part too, bottom part here. There, the house over here with a little roof. There, and maybe another one over here. It's getting a little bit around the corner, but here it is. And then I try to fill in the difference, make it here a house, upside down house with a roof here, upside down house, there another, there we go, like that. And we're just trying to fill in the spaces with shapes, large shapes here. And then let's give it some of that texture. I create this texture by doing these little dots. That helps to create a little of this texture here, little dots, and you saw that it had that, and Now the next thing I'm going to do here is our log, but remember we had that reflection, so let's give it a very light reflection down here, and it's going to be opposite. So here's this. You know what I didn't do? Oh, bad me. I wanted its head up. How silly of me. Wait, you know what? I'm going to go back over this because I want the head up, because that's how it's pretty typical. So I'm taking my awesome eraser, there we go, and putting the head up. What was I thinking? The head is up, and it sees that rectangle again. There, now I'm happy. All right. Got that. Okay, here we go. Here's our eyeball. See? Look, that was easy. Wow, I'll make it happier than that. There we go. Get that design. See? There we go. Never too late. Head up. Okay. I mean, not that their heads aren't always up, but it's a typical look. So now head up, okay? Head up. Here we go. Head up. Right round here. Okay, eyeball here like that, right? And we're not going to really see the rest of it because it's just a reflection here. And again, here's its shell is here. And the shell here, and here's the other part of it over here. And then it's got the very large designs in here. So it'll be, let's get it down here. So it'll be kind of like the upside down houses here. And you don't. It doesn't have to be very strong, these ones, because it's a reflection. You're not going to see a lot of it. You're just not going to see a lot of it. There we go. Just a general reflection. The next thing I want to do over here is it's in a pond, and so some of the elements of a pond in our case would be cattails, and cattails are in so many places, and so they're a reed. So let's give it a leaf here, and it looks kind of like a corn dog on a stick, like a corn dog like that, even a little bit longer than that. And lots of leaves, though, lots of leaves there. And it's in the water, it has to have its roots in the water. So let's give that to that there. And then back here, I'm going to give it just the texture. Oh, you know what? We forgot I want the sun. Here's a sun. Here's a big fat sun. I want the sun because it's out lying on a log in the middle of a pond, basking and soaking up sun. There we go. So here's our design back here. It's probably cattails back here, and they live in groups there. So, and they can be different groups at different levels out here too, or different planes there. And you're not going to see exactly what they look like because they're so far away, right? Now the sun is very low, so we want to make sure that this would be our horizon line here. And that did that. There we go. We can get away with that. There we go. There's our horizon. Because the sun is on the top of the horizon, in the sky. The horizon line is the place where the sky kisses the land or the water. Right here, that line is the horizon line. So that's water, that's sky. Sun's in the sky, right? Yes, we got that. Good. Let's give it a little wiggly water here, a little wiggly water, little wiggly water, water. Goody. Yay. And now I want to come back in here and give some texture to the log. Let's give some texture to this log. Oh, another cattail over here. That's what I wanted. Okay, a cattail over here. Okay, and it's got lots of nice leaves. There we go. Yes, and more. Yes. Now, our next step that we're going to do is we're going to take our Sharpie and we're going to outline. Okay, so we're going to start up here. I think I have a good place to start. Okay, well, and then, oh no, maybe not. And then come back over here for the shell. Hello, shell. Oh, you are the good shell. Look at that. Yeah. Turtles, especially turtles like these, have been around since before the dinosaurs. Really. Now, I'm not saying this turtle, a particular turtle, has been around before dinosaurs, but just the family of animals that we call turtles has been around before the dinosaurs. So they really know how to do things. And we think of them as being pretty slow, but if you were to come up to them while they were basking, they would jump right in the water. They're very shy that way, and they know better than to hang up because I think people sometimes collect these for their aquariums, and we even had that video with them in the aquariums. So I think they're wise to be a little cautious with people. Besides, that's not what they do. They just want to be out there enjoying themselves. And it's okay, you can go look at them. You can get binoculars and go look at them. That's kind of fun, right? There. So I'm just going over the lines that we created. Just roughly. Here's our awesome feet. Hello, feet. You are the good feet. Yeah. So they live pretty old, but when the mom is ready to lay eggs, she could be 10 years old. So she's been around a little bit. And then she goes upland. It could be even a quarter of a mile or half a mile from the water, up the banks a little bit, and digs a hole, dig, puts her eggs in there and covers them up and goes away. And then the babies, if it's late in the season, they'll stay in that hole. There's little hatchlings, little tiny turtles. They'll stay in the hole till it warms up in the spring, and then they come marching out and go look for the water. And they know where it is instinctively. They know where it is. They find that water. So here's our nice log. Oh, it doesn't have to be a log. It could be almost anything. Sometimes in parks, when they're worried about the turtles, because they are endangered, when they're worried about them, they put in places for them to be and be happy and bask, and because they need a safe place for them to be out, because other things will get them, raccoons and other creatures will eat them, especially the babies, right? Now, I'm not trying to get straight lines here, nor complete lines. What I'm really wanting to do is, it's wiggly, it's the water. I don't even want a lot of lines in here, hardly. It's a reflection, and even if the water was still, you would still find, you wouldn't see it as well as you did this part here, right? There we go. Good. Just very light, very light. There. And let's get our creatures here. There we are. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There. You know, and there are cultures that consider turtles extremely important. They're part of their creation stories, meaning that they incorporate them in how the earth began, and or have images of them. There's one image that the whole earth rides on the top of a giant turtle, and they're considered. They've been around for so long. They have patience. They have a lot of values that humans value, and one of them is the fact that they are. They can get things done. They're slow, but they obviously have been around a long time. And so they consider them fortunate or good luck or something to want to emulate, to be like a turtle. So we want to get some of these in here. There, I think that's okay. I'd like to see us just clean this up with our eraser a little bit. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to apply our watercolors. So you're going to go get those. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, I like turtles. I mean, it's a sign of patience. I think of myself as a turtle sometimes. I'm slow, but I so get there, you know. And I mean, there's stories about how slow they are, but how persistent. And the rabbit story, right? And the rabbit runs ahead and is so exhausted from running so hard and fast it falls asleep. And meanwhile, the turtle comes by. It comes by and it keeps on going. And while the rabbit is asleep, the turtle gets to where it needs to go, right? Or the end of the race, or however the story goes, right? So now, no, I did not do this. Look, 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 look. See, this is what gives us the opportunity to find what we didn't do and what we did do here, right? There. So you can see that different parts didn't get done. That's okay. Good. Sometimes I like to put in a little extra lines in here to make it, give it a little depth to it. There. Good. I like that. Okay, so what we're going to do now, you're going to erase. Go ahead, you go do that. I'm going to do a little bit more erasing. I'm going to rest for a second, stop. You're going to go get your watercolors, and we're going to come back after it's erased and put in those watercolors. Good job. Okay, we are back, and we are going to do our pond turtle colors. There, so we've erased really well. And now the next thing I'm going to have you do is get a pretty fine brush. And I actually want you to put water on your turtle. Just put some water on your turtle. You're just going to start, and it helps to spread the colors a little bit. It's especially important when you're doing the sky or the water like that. Now, the next thing we're going to do here is I'm actually going to put a very light layer of gray on here because it's a good undercoat, and then add my browns and other colors. You know, there isn't a turtle color. I mean, you have to make it. You have to make it. You know how the colors, there's all these different names for colors. It should be turtle green, but we're going to create our own because it's a very dark color. Okay, so I'm going to come up over here. Hello, turtle. You are the good turtle. There we go. Come on around over here. We're mixing our colors, remember. And we're going to start off with a foundation color here like that. Now I'm going to come over here. Yeah, I'm going to put some brown in. We're talking about that's got a little brown. Let's get a little of that brown. And do you see how it's not truly brown? It's mixing in here. And I'm trying to keep in the spirit of these spaces that are in here, like that. Cool spaces that are here. There we go, like that, right? Right? Okay, next I am. Here comes that green. Get in here, but you see how it all mixes down? And so it has that kind of muddy green look, which it should be a muddy green look. It's in the mud. And it wants to protect itself by not being too fleshy. That's probably why it lives so long. I mean, dinosaurs, right? Think dinosaurs. And then I went through the time when people loved eating turtle soup, right? So the next thing I'm going to do, go ahead, we could go down here and get our thing. Now remember, this is a reflection. It's not going to be as strong, the colors, so I'm weakening the colors by adding more water to them, and I mean, pretty much the same colors again. But nonetheless, they're not going to be as quite as strong. That's all. A little bit. That's good enough. There, we got that. Good. And then I want to come over here. I want to make this log be distinctively different to make it totally clear that it is a log that it's on. So it's got to have its own kind of set of colors in here that looks different than, say, the turtle, right? Right? There we go. Yeah. Oh, good. So, I mean, there's something about turtles, I've never met anybody who didn't like a turtle. I mean, there was a time, like I said, they ate them, and that's partially why they're not around. But one of the other reasons is because it's loss of habitat, which really means that people have filled in the wetlands and the rivers and creeks frequently for agriculture or shopping centers or building in general. And so they made it hard for a lot of creatures, not just turtles, made it hard for them to stay alive because they need a certain amount of room to do what they're doing, right? And people are bringing them back though. People realized, because sometimes people do things by mistake, they didn't think, they didn't know, is really what it is. And see, I'm doing all these cattails back here. You mix your colors. Don't be afraid to mix your colors here. Greens, all different color greens. And so they're bringing them back. They have hatcheries where they hatch the babies and then release them. And they're really nice and healthy when they get released. They've fed them really well so that they can live in the environments. And not only that, we have a lot of areas that we've protected. Right here in Santa Cruz, where I live, down by the coast of California, we have the Loch Lomond Reservoir, which is where we hold our water. It's pretty clean. It's drinking water after all. But what it means really is that it's a controlled habitat, because you can't have crazy things happening where you're storing your water, but you can have animals and people. People go out in boats. People even fish. That's okay to do that. Now, I put too much in here, so I'm actually pulling it back a little bit by what I do is I clean it and I try to make it like a sponge and see if I can pull a little of that off. That's fine. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you to get a slightly larger one. You see the difference in our brushes here. This one is a smaller brush, a nice one for details, and this is a fatter brush. We're doing water. So come right on over here, put water on the water. Water on the water, water on the water, water on the water. Here we go. Hello, water on the water. Here we go. And I'm going to get some of our nice color that we have in here. And you see, when you put the water on first, it tends to it spreads better. It spreads better. Look, I'm going over here because this is a reflection. It's on top of the water. We want it to be right on top over there. There we go. Hello, look at you. Yeah. And there's water all the way back to the horizon line that we're talking about, right? Where the land or the water meets the sky. And it meets the sky, just like that. Sometimes I like to put maybe a darker one back in here. It adds kind of a depth, right? Could happen that way, and maybe even in the front. I don't know. Could be like that. And then the other part here. Oh, I forgot my son. Okay, hello, son. Let's get that sun. You are a good son. I'm not going to do the sky part If you wish to do that, you can. I know a lot of people really want to do blue, but I would recommend if you decide that you're going to do the sky, maybe not blue. Think of all the colors that the sky could be. It could be pink, it could be orange, it could be red, and it could be other colors, and that way this area would stand out because that's already a lot of blue, right? But anyway, I think we did well. Look, 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 this is fine. Maybe, oh, you know what? I might do just a tiny bit more color coming through here just to make sure it looks like it's a reflection. Yes! Yay! Let's call that done. We're going to call that done. Hello, Western Pond Turtle. You are an awesome turtle. Good job, people. Good.